good morning, thank you for joining me. I hope everybody's well today. Sorry, I'm just getting comfortable in my chair. I didn't do that before we started, before I pressed record. This is the second time I have filmed this video. I filmed it yesterday and realised that I spent all of it talking about December as if it was next week and Vlogmas, and it's not, it's the week after next. I'm very mixed up with my weeks. Anyway, welcome to another Friday chat video. I have my cup of coffee in my mug, which matches my top, not deliberately, just happened to. Done that a couple of times recently. Yeah, time for another Friday chat. This will be the last Friday. Actually, no, it won't. I tell a lie. There will be another Friday chat next week with a shout out because I need some help with something next week from you guys. So look out for that one. I have had a very busy few weeks. Next week, my diary, apart from 2 appointments, I think, is empty. Monday to Friday, there is nothing in it. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going away, I'm not doing lots of things, and I cannot wait. Honestly, I've had probably about 6 weeks of being very busy, being away a lot, and just to have a whole week at home with not much going on is something I'm very much looking forward to. I've had a busy week this week. My mum has been to stay. We had a day out on, what day was it? Wednesday. We went shopping and lunch, and we went to the theatre to see Saturday Night Fever, the musical, which I've never seen before in all the years it's been, considering I'm an avid fan of musical theatre, all the years that Saturday Night Fever has been around. It's one that I've never seen, and we both super enjoyed it. It was so good, so well put on. There was, without boring you to death about the ins and outs, there was an accident to the character playing the male lead halfway through, or some sort of medical emergency. They didn't tell us exactly, and they had to stop the whole performance for an hour. He was taken to hospital, and they put an understudy on who was playing one of the other parts in his place and carried on with the performance after an hour. And they must have been quite, you know, quite traumatic for them all. It was, you know, they were so professional, and it was just a really lovely performance, very well done. I think it's touring around the country, so a recommendation if you are a musical theatre fan. It is well worth seeing. Now, I thought I'd better talk about Vlogmas briefly. I am intending to do Vlogmas this year. In fact, just trying to think, when I first did Vlogmas, I feel like it was 2016. Yeah, so I've done a lot of them, a lot over the years, and I swore I wouldn't do another one this year. I was not doing it. For anybody who doesn't know, Vlogmas is daily videos throughout the month of December from the 1st until the 24th. And I swore I wouldn't do it this year, but I am going to attempt it. I'm not going to beat myself up if 1 or 2 days I don't get a video up, but the plan is to do videos every single day throughout December. So look out for that. But on that note, I very rarely say this. Some YouTubers say it on every single video they make, but I always forget to say it. I know that, having looked at my statistics that we can see in the back end of YouTube, I know that 44% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel. So if you enjoy my videos and you're not subscribed, please do click that subscribe button. It is very helpful to us as YouTubers. It helps get my content out there to more people, which in turn ultimately enables me to continue making content. If you don't know how to subscribe, then just below this screen in which you can see my face, there is a button that says subscribe. Click on that, and then next to it there's a little bell. Click on the bell and tick the all option, and then when I upload a new video, whenever I publish a new video, you will get a notification letting you know that I have done so. As I say, it is quite helpful for me if you do that, so it would be much appreciated, as is leaving a thumbs up. If you enjoy a video, just clicking on the thumbs up icon. In fact, clicking on the thumbs down if you haven't enjoyed one has the same effect. That any sort of interaction is, according to YouTube, is positive interaction, so all good. I'll be talking a little bit more about the format for my Vlogmas videos this year in next week's Friday chat. I thought I'd leave that for next week. Now, I wanted to ask, let me know, has anybody been watching the latest series of The Crown? I think I've mentioned it in a video. You'll see I've got 2 videos coming up this Sunday, and next Wednesday's videos were pre-records that I filmed a little bit in advance. So they've actually been filmed 2 weeks ago, both of those, I think, or it will be 2 weeks by the time you see them. So if I talk about the same things I'm talking about now, I haven't gone mad. But I think I've mentioned The Crown in one of them anyway. But yeah, has anybody watched series 5 of The Crown? I've mentioned in one of those videos that are upcoming that I felt a little bit ambivalent about it. I felt that I think having lived through the Charles and Diana years, and they were quite acrimonious and unpleasant years for them and for the public watching their relationship implode, weren't they? I'm not sure I want to relive a dramatised version of it, and I was very much on the fence about whether I was going to watch this latest series, and I happened upon some reviews in a TV and film Facebook group that I'm in, and it was almost universally slated by everybody who had watched it. From people were saying boring, and the new actors aren't nearly as good as the old characters in the parts, and there was a couple of comments saying that they weren't sure who was supposed to be who. Yeah, so almost universally saying it was disappointing, and that sort of made my mind up that certainly at the moment anyway I'm not going to watch it, but I'd love to hear from any of you guys if you've watched it, whether you enjoyed it, whether you are enjoying it, what you think of it. I loved the earlier seasons, probably the first 2 seasons were my favourite, and I enjoyed season 3 and 4, but not so much as it has become more recent. Certainly season 4 with the Princess Diana character. I didn't love season 4 as much, so that's really, yeah, all of that combined is putting me off watching it. But do let me know if anybody's really enjoyed it, or if you haven't enjoyed it, let me know that as well. I expect somebody will comment, so I thought I would mention this. I've had my eyebrows done. You may be able to tell they look a little darker. I had them microbladed yesterday. Sadly, the lady that I've been going to for my microblading for probably about 6 years now has stopped doing it and gone into a different career. So I had to find somebody new, but in a way that was nice. In fact, there's a beautician who works upstairs in my hairdresser. She's got her own little business up there, and I went to her on the recommendation of the girl who used to cut my hair, and she was absolutely lovely. She was so nice, and she does a whole range of beauty treatments, and she was talking me into this dermaplaning facial, which I quite like the sound of, so I might go for that. But yeah, I had my eyebrows done yesterday. Microblading, for anybody who doesn't know, is sort of not quite tattooing, it's hairline tattooing. It's done with needles, and it's bloody painful. Honestly, I'm not a tattoo person anyway, but having had my eyebrows microbladed, I definitely wouldn't be up for getting a tattoo. I wouldn't be brave enough at all. It was really very painful indeed, but I just love not having to do anything to them. It's just so nice not having to pencil them in the morning, so it's worth it, and they last for between 12 and 18 months usually, so yeah, despite the pain, it's worth it for the longevity and not having to faff about with them, I always think. And I really like the shape she's done as well. She followed the old microblading that was still in there, but I feel like they're nice and natural as well. I always stress when I go and have anything done that I don't want to look like trendy, and you know, like all the youngsters have these big brows and very dark, don't they? And you know, that's just not what I'm looking for at all. But yeah, she took on board what I said, which was really nice. I've been reading a lot recently, and you may, or I'm an avid reader anyway. I read a lot all the time, but I've been reading on a Kindle for about a decade, I would say, almost exclusively on a Kindle, and there is no doubt that reading on a Kindle is convenient. It's I mean, certainly for going on holidays, it's absolutely brilliant. It's light, it's portable. You can have 300 books at the touch of a button in your handbag, can't you? But I recently had the hankering to hold a proper book again, so I decided to go to the library. I visit the library anyway. I like to support the local library. I think libraries are something we get not not for free, because obviously we pay for them in our taxes and council tax and what have you, don't we? But they are an asset that is there to be used, and many have been lost through cutbacks, and I would hate that to continue. So I do try and support my local library, and you can order books in. They come under the umbrella, our local library of Devon Libraries, and if they haven't got a book in my particular local library, they will get one from a different branch anywhere in Devon. It's brilliant, and you pay £1 to reserve a book, and then you get an email when it arrives. So I've been ordering the books I want to read through the library, and honestly, the joy I have got through holding a real book again and reading a real book has really made me want to continue doing so and go back to that sort of slightly old-fashioned way of reading. The Kindle is, you know, for holidays I will still use the Kindle. When we went away to London for the weekend recently, I took the Kindle, but I love the feeling of a real book, and I feel like books are more memorable. When you read on a Kindle, you open it up and you just you don't ever see the cover of it, really, do you, unless you specifically go and look for the cover, because it opens up to where you're up to in the book. And I feel like I'm remembering what I've read a lot more, because I was very often, because I read a lot as well, I think I forget things fairly instantly as I'm on to the next thing, and once a book is sort of 3 or 5 behind, I've completely forgotten what the story is. But I found that less so with reading the actual real books. I don't know if that makes sense at all. Do let me know if you know what I'm talking about. That makes sense to me. So yay for real books. Very happy to be back on the real book bandwagon. Now, the final subject I've got written down to chat to you about today is, let me just put my glasses back on so I can see myself in the screen. That's better. I didn't know if this would be interesting to talk about or not, but quite often when I do sponsored content, I feel like it's not always clear how it all works, and there is a blimmin' great big paragraph always at the bottom of the description box that explains about advertising and sponsorships and all that. But let's face it, none of us ever go and read a whole description box with all those long paragraphs of legally required stuff, do we? So I had a comment recently saying, when you say the items are gifted but it's not sponsored, to me it means the same thing. And I thought about that and I thought, yeah, actually, I get that. So I thought it was probably worth just chatting through sort of how it works. I know there's quite a lot of negativity, not necessarily with you watching this, but around the idea of influencers. I prefer to think of myself as a content creator. I think there's a lot of negativity around the world, influencer. But there is some negativity around influencers getting free things and gifted things and, you know, all of that. And I mean, even seeing comments whereby people are saying, oh, they shouldn't be giving free things to influencers. They should be giving them to people in need or food banks. And I think it's important to remember that they're not actually giving, that you're not actually getting a free thing for the sake of a free thing. They are looking, the companies who give things away are looking for a quid pro quo. Obviously, it's a business arrangement, isn't it? They are giving you something free in order to get something back. They're not doing it out of the goodness of it. It's not altruistic giving, let's be honest here. So although the perception is that it's a freebie, it, you know, is basically a business arrangement, isn't it? But I wanted to talk about the difference in terminology, because I thought that might be sort of vaguely of interest. If it's not, switch off now, because this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. I thought I'd do it at the end so you could switch off if you're not interested, because I'm not sure how, you know, I find it interesting, but then I'm at the other side of it, if you like. But anyway, there are basically 3 different types of advertising that I do on this channel. And the first one is when a company approaches me and says they want to, would I like to try their ... whatever it is, and I'll have a look at it. 9 times out of 10 I'll say no thank you, that's not for me, it wouldn't be suitable for my audience, they wouldn't be interested in that. You wouldn't believe what people email you and say, oh, I really enjoy your channel, would you like to advertise my video game? What? Really? You really haven't enjoyed my channel that much, have you, if you think I'm going to be advertising video games. But I'll have a look at it, and if it's something that I think you would be interested in, I will say to the company, I'm very happy if you want to send me this. I don't guarantee any coverage, but if it's something that I receive and I like and I enjoy it and I think my audience will be interested, I will mention it and show it on my channel. So in that arrangement, they are not guaranteed any sort of review or coverage or anything like that, but if I like the item and I get it and it's of nice quality and I think you would be interested in it, I will then show it in a video. Now, the second type of advertising is when a brand has a advertising segment within another video. Now, these are always easy to spot because you will always see the at the very beginning, the first 20 seconds of the video, there will be includes paid promotion, a little banner across the top of the video. And then when the little segment of the advert is shown in the video, I always put ad stamp on the top, so it will say ad, so you know when you are being advertised to. And if you desire to, you can skip through that section to the next bit until you don't see an ad on the top of it. That's absolutely fine. For those, that is a paid promotion. I am being paid to advertise that product, app, item. So in instances such as those, I'll get a brief from the company which talks about what they would like you to talk about. It's usually quite loose. Sometimes you don't get a brief and you can just introduce the company as you want and talk about what you want. But generally there will be a loose sort of brief, but it's all your own words and your own opinions. And the company also has approval over that section of the video before the video is published. Now, I can honestly say that I've never been asked to change anything in a sponsored video other than once for Readly, I was showing the app, and there are certain magazine covers, I think it's the Condé Nast ones, that you can't, so Vogue and some of the others, can't remember, but I'd inadvertently shown the cover of Vogue in the scrolling through the app, and they asked me just to remove that. I think it was about half a second, which I did. That was fine. And once for HelloFresh, they asked me to include the logo on the screen, which I hadn't done. But I've never been asked to change anything that I've said or my opinions or anything like that. And the third type of video is a standalone ad. I suppose it's like an advertorial, a standalone advertisement video, which is a whole video dedicated to advertising that brand. Those videos, again, they'll have the includes paid promotion banner in the first 20 seconds, but they will also have ad in the title of the video so that you know that the whole thing is an ad before you click on it. That is the, I can't remember if it's that ASA guidelines or CMA. We have two sets of guidelines in the UK that we have to adhere to for advertising, but yeah, that will say ad on it, and that will be a whole video dedicated to that brand. Again, they have approval over the content, and again, I will be getting paid for that. I thought that was just interesting to talk to you about, really. I mean, I'm happy to talk about more aspects of the job, as it were, if you're interested in that and how I work with brands and stuff. But yeah, I feel like I try quite hard to provide a balance of organic content and advertising. Obviously, it's nice to be paid for the time that you spend making videos. I'm not sure that if I didn't get paid, I would still be making videos 10 years on. But also, I recognise that you enjoy the organic content as well, which is why my favourites really, it's nice to be paid, but it's nice to have it as a 2 or 3 minute segment in the middle of a 25-minute video. I personally, as a viewer, find that more palatable. One of the better ways to watch advertising. If you've got any questions, do let me know in the comments. But yeah, if I say something is gifted but not sponsored, I mean that they've sent me the item in the hope that they would like me to talk about it and show it to you. However, I'm not being paid to do so. Anyway, that is it for this week's Friday chat. Last Friday chat of the year, next Friday, so look out for that one. And we've got a day in the life on Sunday, another day in the life on the following Sunday, and I think I might have a try on for you. No, sorry, day in the life this coming Sunday, day in the life on Wednesday next week, and the following Sunday I'm going to do a try on because I've got some clothes from a brand to put on. Gifted clothes, not paid clothes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a lovely weekend, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.